is Sports Federation TV. If you've just tuned in, you've missed a fairly healthy part of our show, which we chatted about softball. We're now moving on to surfing. And yes, surfing is one of the most popular sports and recreational activities within Cape Town. And to tell us more about surfing, Danielle, you well?
Yes, and you?
Good, good.
Thank you.
Surfing is something that happens not just as a competition, but more as a recreational activity for lots of folk in Cape Town. Tell us a bit about what makes surfing so special for you. Let's start there.
Surfing is it's very therapeutic for those who don't compete. You don't think about anything else. It's very relaxing, and for those who compete, it's very stressful. But it's a great sport.
And you get a lovely tan out of all of
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
more than anything else.
Yep.
What's it like? How difficult is it to get out into the surf? Because I mean, often you see people standing, or they come in with a wave and then they got to paddle their way back out. How difficult is that?
Surfing is 90% paddling. People don't
90%
realize
paddling.
90% paddling. You'll surf
Explain.
for an hour,
Yeah.
and you'll probably catch about 15, 20 waves in that hour. And the rest of the time you're paddling up and down.
Is that worth it though?
Yes.
Why?
Yes. You know, there's a saying, only a surfer knows the feeling. We have to get you in the water so you can experience it for yourself.
I've been asked that question before, or given that challenge before, and I think my biggest fear is that little black fin that does its rounds.
Johnny.
Is he around?
They're always there.
Okay.
It is their territory, it's not ours. But we do have lots of safety. We've got, shark spotters, which are a great help. And, they're always going to be there. We can't do anything about them. And yeah.
But the water's safe,
Yes.
by and large, to be surfing.
Yes. I mean, you look at, I think more people are killed by toasters than sharks.
Sure.
That is a fact.
That's way, as they say in softball, way left field, so that's totally on the other side of things. Let's unpack surfing a bit. So my understanding is you have a longboard and a shortboard.
Yeah.
What's the difference? Other than the length, what makes a longboard more beneficial or more fun to surf with?
With longboarding, you've got a lot of buoyancy underneath you. It's more about style and flow. That would be longboarding. Shortboarding is more about power and speed. And with your shortboard, you're able to do a lot more different maneuvers. You've got a tiny board, you've got all the space in the world.
So explain these maneuvers. What do you? I'm lost. Explain. What do you mean by maneuvers?
Maneuvers. Okay, so you get your standard, you get your cutback, everyone calls, and the cutback is pretty much going to the top of the face, around and back into the foam. You've got a snap, which is getting your board upright with lots of power. You'll see a little halo of spray. Very technical little things, but if you watch surfing, you'll see.
And that's where you score your points in competitions.
Yes.
On those kinds of nuances, as they call it, those technical bits, as you put it.
Yes. So basically, your judging criteria would be wave selection, speed, power, and flow.
How do I select the right wave for me to get as much time on that wave as possible? What's the keys that I need to be looking for?
Okay, so you want to, if you're going in before a heat for your contest, you want to watch 2 heats or 3 heats before yours to see, because the ocean changes, it's never the same. That's the nice thing about surfing. So you've got to watch your lineup, watch where the sets are coming through, and that's it.
So explain a set. What's a set?
A set is one of the bigger waves that come from the outside.
Okay.
You've always got that lull and break in between waves, and that bigger one that comes from the outside is your set wave.
So how would I know if I'm just sitting there on my board in the middle of the ocean, and here is potentially a wave, yes or no? Do I take it? Don't I take it? What's the determining factor for me?
You want to look at what the wave has to offer. You'll look and see if there's a nice wall running, and that's what you want. You want that wall.
And you go under the wall on the inside or on top of the wall? Because this is all interesting stuff that people need to understand.
So basically, you look for the set wave, you see a nice wall, and you want to ride along that wall and just work it. So.
Okay. What's your speciality?
I love shortboarding.
Why?
Shortboarding, I've tried longboarding a couple of times. Longboarding is fun, but I like the aggressiveness about shortboarding.
Is it difficult to master, to be able to get onto the board firstly and ride a wave?
Yes, you have to work your way down. You generally start off on a longboard, you work your way down to a shortboard. And shortboarding takes years and years and years of practice to actually complete a maneuver. Your very basic maneuvers. So
How long have you been surfing?
I started, wow, I must have been 19 years I've been surfing.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's almost as old as I am.
Yeah.
And you still enjoy it after 19
I
years?
love it. I love it. I don't know what I'd do without it.
How often do you surf?
Every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
Is that your full-time job?
Yep.
Tough life, eh? So as a full-time job, what does it entail being a full-time surfer? Explain that to us, mere mortals who work.
Okay, basically, so we encourage surfing as much as possible, coaching, transformation, you know. So basically just getting the kids in the water, getting them to compete, making an opportunity, lifestyle, healthy lifestyle for the kids.
What's the surfing lifestyle about? Tell us. People often see or have the misperception that as a person walking with a baggy shorts, you know, just loafing around, surfs up at school. Is that what it's about?
Not necessarily. Surfing is, it really does take a lot of hard work and dedication to make it in surfing. It really, really, really does. And it's basically appreciating life, appreciating your family, your loved ones, and yes, that's.
And how often are there competitions within Cape Town? Do you know?
Yes. Now, this time of year, all the provinces have their champs, province champs. So you should be seeing some of that around now, towards the end of the year. There are some really cool competitions that happen. There's an annual Grommet Games, it's a national event. It's for all entry-level surfers, all guys that have never surfed a contest before, and they get to compete against each other nationally, which is amazing. So that's one of the really better ones to watch.
And often I see on Western Province Surfing's Facebook page, surfers happening here, and then an hour or two later you'll see surfers competition cancelled due to bad waves. What happens in a case like that?
It's a tough one because you can't. There's only so long you can postpone a contest for. That's why all surfers have to be able to surf all kinds of conditions, because you can't wait until perfect waves. I mean, it can't always happen. So you have to be able to be flexible and be able to.
Tell us a bit about the dungeon.
Dungeons.
Yeah.
Okay, you've got to have some serious, but those guys, so much respect to those guys.
Where is the dungeon?
Dungeons is just around Hart Bay. Yeah.
What makes it so special?
It is a massive wave. It is massive. It takes a lot of therapy, a lot of
mental therapy or surfing therapy?
Both. You really just. I have so much respect for those guys. If you watch them, you think, wow, my life would be taken if I went off on one of those. So.
Is it that dangerous?
It is dangerous, yeah.
And where exactly can people go and watch it? Can you from the shore see it? Or how does it work?
You can, but you won't see that much. You'll have to take a boat out and watch the guys out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because often you hear about dungeons, guys are going to dungeons, and you think this must be the ultimate.
Yeah, in South Africa, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
And I mean, J-Bay is quite phenomenal as well.
Yes.
From a surfing point of view. I mean, your last shortboarding SA Champs was there.
Yeah.
What's those waves like compared to Cape Town waves?
Jeffreys Bay, like they say, is just the perfect wave. Internationally, it's world renowned. It's a beautiful, beautiful, perfect right-hander. It's a beautiful wave. It's got so much potential. It's got so much space for everyone to show what they can actually do instead of being limited by terrible waves or.
Okay.
So.
And how did the Western Province team do at the SAs?
Western Province team won by quite a gap.
Did we expect anything less?
Yeah, no. No, they did very, very well. They had many finalists, and SA champs.
So how does the competition work? Is it per age category, per expertise? Explain how a competition works.
Okay, so the competition works for SA champs. You represent your different provinces, and you score points for how far you make it in the contest. You've got 4 guys that go out in a heat, and they wear 4 different rash vests. So you've got red, white, yellow, and blue, and then you have a judging panel that sort of score them, and they get finalists out of them.
And in terms of categories, is it per age category?
Yes, you've got under 13, under 15, under 17, and then under 19.
And then open category.
Yeah, and those are your seniors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any big names come out of Cape Town surfing that we should be keeping an eye on, or those who are on the international circuit at the moment?
So we've got, Actually, Geordie Marie, he's a local guy from Cork Bay. He won SA Champs. Very
Wow.
well done to him. There's a couple of guys that have just left for Worlds. So good luck to those guys. Really surf your hearts out.
How do people find out more about surfing? Do you have a website?
Yes, we've
Yep.
got surfingsouthafrica.co.za. Or if you want to contact us, you can go to surfingsouthafrica@gmail.com.
Young lady, thank you for your time. We'll be putting our big toe in the water and hopefully getting onto a longboard at some point in our lives. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Let's take an ad break. We'll be right back.